fitness goals or fitness overall goals. Our conversation this morning, I got to throw a switch here. Click. There we go. Our conversation. This is par for the course for today. Conversation with Hayley Robson from the Bariatric weight management and bariatric surgery. And I'm starting again, ladies. Help me. Our conversation with Hayley Robson, the bariatric coordinator with Weight Management and Bariatric Surgery Institute, and Lori Smith, registered dietitian, this morning, brought to you by Marcus & Mack, voted best personal injury law firm in the Best of Indiana County contest. Marcus & Mack, a law firm representing injured people. Ladies, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Bring some sanity to this program, will you? We had this report this morning that 38% of us we feel like we're running on empty. And if we were more fit physically and mentally, that probably would go a long way toward getting rid of that kind of burnout. Let's talk this morning about how we can get healthier, get fitter. And for some people, Hayley, that does involve bariatric surgery. It changes lives, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. Yeah, we have a majority of our patients come through and say, I don't know why I didn't do this sooner. My life has changed so much for the better. They very rarely have anything negative to say about their outcome after surgery.
That being said, it takes a commitment to changing your lifestyle, because it's not just go have the surgery and go back to the way that you were living before.
Exactly. So we do have a 6-month program that you have to follow with us prior to having surgery. And the purpose of that solely is so that we can provide those lifestyle changes and start making those habits for you prior to surgery, so that after surgery you can be more successful.
Mm-hmm. And a part of that, Lori, could be working with someone like you, a registered dietitian, to help us understand what it is that we're eating, what are some better alternatives, and how foods really affect our energy levels and everything else, our brain functions. Food is a real key.
It is, and we're happy to be part of the team over at the Bariatric Institute and Weight Management Institute, because, yes, a piece of it is nutrition. So really, as Hayley mentioned, that 6-month process before and then after, we're part of that support team and helping to provide the education and support that patients need.
Now, when someone comes and they're visiting the Bariatric Surgery Institute and they're deciding that this is something that they want to do, and then they get involved with you and with Hayley and the rest of the program, what are some of those initial things that you have to do? I would assume analyzing what they're doing now in order to guide them in what they should be doing.
Right, because these are patients, when they're approaching and coming in, they've most of them have made several attempts at weight loss on their own, through dieting, through exercise, through a combination of different ways that they maybe have found success initially but haven't been able to sustain that. So we really try to meet them where they are. And you're right, it is that first session is really just getting to know that individual, what they've tried, what their history is, and then try to support them with the key components of the nutrition that they need. But it is a process. It's not overnight. It's not just one quick visit. It's a lot of digging and education and support and effort on the part of the patient.
You're not going to show up at their house with a garbage bag and go through their cupboards and start emptying things out.
No, I'm not. And I have said that to patients. You know, we go over in that first session, we have information each week or each month that we meet with them. One is a healthy eating checklist. So a lot of things on that list people are already doing. But I do say that. You don't have to, go through and get rid of. But as you start to bring in new, these are areas that we want to focus on.
Yeah. Hayley, when someone comes to the Bariatric Institute and they're looking for a change in their life, obviously it's more than just what you're eating, as Lori said. It's more than the amount of exercise that you're getting. It really is a whole person concept, isn't it?
It truly is. And we do have multiple providers that we have to have that patient see throughout the process of surgery. They all need to have a psychiatric clearance. If need be, they might need to see a pulmonologist for a sleep study, things like that, just to make sure that we're capturing all things with the patient prior to them foregoing the surgery.
All right, so take us through the process. How do you get established with the Bariatric Surgery Institute, the Weight Management and Bariatric Surgery Institute?
So we do accept self-referrals. However, we do prefer, a physician referral if you can get one. And they can send those to the office, or you can simply call me. Our number is 724-349-3170. And, there's some criteria for both surgery and our medical weight management program. There is criteria, so don't hesitate to give me a call, and we can discuss, you personally and decide if you're a good candidate for either pathway.
Yeah, it's a very, very serious point in their lives, and we understand that they're going to have some questions about how they're going to be able to handle it mentally and emotionally. Physically, is their body able to handle it? At the same time, we want to emphasize that it's a really positive step that they're taking.
Absolutely. So, a lot of times patients will come in for what we call just an information session, and that's just sitting down with our surgeon, Dr. Waklowski, where he talks about the procedures and the lifestyle changes and the whole process of getting up to surgery, after surgery, just so that the patient has a big picture of what surgery is before making the decision. And that's another reason why we follow these patients for at least 6 months, because it gives them time to realize, yes, this is what I want to do. This is the change I want to make in my life, and I feel like I'm ready to make this change. So it kind of gives them that time to make that decision.
Yeah, as Lori said, many folks have tried every diet they possibly can. A lot of people have done that yo-yo thing where they lose a whole bunch of weight and then, boom, it's right back on them. And those are the kinds of things that with this program you're trying to avoid.
Exactly. And we build those stepping stones for you and that foundation for you prior to surgery just to help you have success afterward.
Yeah, yeah. So, Lori, when we're talking about bariatric surgery, and that is a big, big step, but it's the Weight Management Institute, and so we don't want to neglect some of the other steps that folks are taking in terms of their overall fitness and well-being. A lot of it has to do with what's happening within their family as well. If somebody else in the family is a negative influence on them, then that's going to make it more difficult.
Oh, absolutely. Support is a big part of this and part of the process. So not only the support they get from our team at IRMC, but that support at home. And as Hayley, I think we've all said, it is life-changing and for the positive. So, but we have to make sure they're aware of that, family members are aware of that, and help set them up so they continue to have that success and support.
Yeah, and being able to convince the entire family to be a part of this helps the entire family too.
Right, right. And even the things that we're talking about, like leading up to the surgery, the healthy habits, the healthy checklist that I referred to, it is healthy for an entire family. Now, obviously, the individual going through the bariatric surgery post-op, their diet is going to look a little different in terms of amounts and foods, but certainly that would be what we would recommend, is that the family as a whole try to take this on.
Have you and the other dietitians, have they always worked with the Weight Management Institute?
We have, yes. We've been fortunate both on the bariatric side and the medical weight loss side. And again, nutrition is an important piece, but it is just one piece. So I feel, as Hayley was mentioning, there's a lot of different disciplines that are involved. And again, that's meant to provide the most support that we can for the patients and ensure their success.
Hayley, let's deal with some perceptions of what people think bariatric surgery is as opposed to the reality of what bariatric surgery is. I'm sure that people, when they come in, especially initially, you've got to break down some barriers. Sure.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things. A lot of people think it's just a quick surgery and then they're going to be skinny. It's not that. Like we've talked about, it's a lifestyle change. You have to be willing to put in the effort. And then the surgery is just a tool for you, basically. And, we have a lot of people that have, they've heard people with bad success stories that have had surgeries elsewhere, or things like that. So we do have to kind of cut down those barriers and explain to these patients, maybe why those patients weren't successful afterward, things like that.
And there's not just one bariatric surgery that is performed, correct? There are different methods.
There are different methods. Here at Indiana Regional, we do offer a gastric bypass and a sleeve gastrectomy. So those are the two that we offer here in Indiana. So, those are just the extent, but there are other procedures out there. Those are the only two we offer.
So let's get to the other side of it after the surgery, after we have really made this a part of our life and how we're living. It changes more than just your weight or your shape. There are great physiological changes to your body, and your chances of avoiding some major problems go way down.
Absolutely. So, we've had multiple patients that have come to us with diabetes pre-op and after their surgery are maybe off of all of their diabetic medications or most of them. We have patients that have had remission of their sleep apnea and no longer need a CPAP or are off of their high blood pressure medications. So, yes, physically it changes you, but it changes you inside as well.
Yeah. And I remember when Dr. Walkowski was here, he was really excited about the possibility. At the time, I don't know where it's progressed now, but at the time he said there are actually some studies out there that saying your chances of avoiding certain cancers could be affected as well.
Exactly. I mean, it really is a positive surgery for you, a positive outcome. There's more goods than there is bad that's going to come from this if you do choose that this is the best option for you.
A lot of smiles and a lot of things that you can do now after you've had the bariatric surgery that just weren't possible before.
Right. We've had patients that say, I have so much more energy. Someone the other day just said to me, I was able to go upstairs and get my Christmas decorations down and I didn't have to stop and take a break. Or we had a patient that, his goal was to do a 5K, and this summer he was able to do that. So just being able to do lifestyle things that you've always wanted to do, but you couldn't before because of your weight.
And Lori, fewer trips to the pharmacist too.
True. Yes, absolutely. So you look across the board. That's what I was thinking as you were talking about, just the change in activity and what they're able to do. So that success with the weight management, kind of, it's a cycle forward now. Now I can be more active and physically active and have the energy, feel better, sleep better as a result. We have a lot of patients, too, with orthopedic issues, knees and hips. So we'll see definitely some good benefits from that as well, too.
She's Lori Smith. Hayley Robson with us as well. Hayley, people want to learn more. They want to find out about the Weight Management Institute, the Bariatric Surgery Institute at IRMC, and what it can do for them. What's the best way for them to do that?
Like I said, just give us a call. We do have another pathway. So if you don't think you're quite ready for surgery, we do have a medical weight management pathway as well. So by all means, just give me a call and we can discuss your criteria and see if you fall under the, the program criteria for either of those pathways, and we can get you started.
Ladies, thanks so much for coming in to visit with us today. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It is the voice of Indiana County. It's WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, and WCCSradio.com. 24 and a half after 8 o'clock. Jake is here. He's in the newsroom coming up with us in just a couple of moments.